In this video, I'll be showing you how to use this product. This is a two-part resin that I'll be using to simulate some radioactive water. The box comes with two glass bottles containing the two components I'll be mixing together. There are also two syringes inside the box, and the instructions can be found on the box itself. To start working, we need some sort of container in which to make the mixture, a spatula for stirring it, some masking tape, and the pedestal or surface you want to use and onto which you'll pour the mix. First of all, you're going to need to use the tape to create a boundary around the area where you want to pour your mix. I'm going to stick the tape around the edges of this pedestal to prevent the resin from escaping when I pour on the mix. If you see that component 1 has settled at the bottom of the bottle like this, all you need to do is stir it before you use it. That's just the colouring that has sunk to the bottom of the bottle. For the mix, you need to use 2 parts of component 1 to 1 part of component 2. Each one comes with its own syringe, so you can use the bigger one for the component you need the most of, and the smaller one for the other. I'm going to start with 10 ml and see how we go. You need to pour it carefully so you don't get too many bubbles, because you'll need to get rid of those bubbles later. Okay, well, I'm going to add another 10 ml of this one. Now it's time to add component 2 using that 2:1 ratio. In other words, 2 parts of component 1 and 1 part of component 2. Given that I used 20 ml of component 1, then I need to add 10 ml of component 2 to my mix. It's very important to stir the mix very carefully. You need to stir it for at least 3 or 4 minutes to make sure they mix properly. Of course, try to do so without creating too many bubbles. In other words, stir slowly and carefully. I'm going to get stirring and then I'll show you what it looks like before pouring. As you can see, I've mixed my 2 components together nicely. I stirred carefully and didn't create too many bubbles. I've already sealed around the edges with my tape, so now I just need to pour the mix onto my pedestal. Of course, this also needs to be done carefully. It will spread out evenly naturally because it's a liquid. And then you just need to let it set for 24 hours. And after that, it's ready and finished. Right, so I've waited the necessary 24 hours. And as you can see, the resin has set completely. Here I've removed the tape and this is the final product.